and put any effort in to get you there. Like, what the fuck? And you make all this money online from all these different women and all these different battles, but you can't put effort to get your girlfriend safely to where you're at. Like, what?
Correct. Right. And America, when we were on the phone, not to interrupt, but when we were actually speaking on the phone, did he or did he not come up behind you? And I would hear him, and you were like, "Oh, it's Hawks," it says, and then he would make you hang up the phone with me, correct?
Yes, he was like, "Get off the phone with that weirdo."
That weirdo. But it comes in my live. I let him tell his story. I asked him to tell his story. He says no. He requested up, and I accepted. He literally says, because you guys talked about a bunch of nothing. I said, why did you make her hang up the phone with me? He's like, because girls just talk about nothing. I was like, yeah, girls talk about nothing to guys, but I mean, we were just speaking. He literally admits and I have the screen recording. I also have his friend right here who he said, hey, bro, go. He was like, I guess he modded him. And I have the recording right here, and I can play it for you guys. And he goes, this is the problem. He told me to look him up, but I paid for his discovery, and I have the paid discovery. Mm-hmm. And there's a clip right here I can play, a very small clip.
Go for it.
But see, the reason why he made me get off the phone with her is because he heard me on the phone with somebody. Like, I was there in a room. He would go live, he would do his thing, he'd be on the phone, he was walking back and forth across the apartment. I'd be in a room the whole time I was there.
Yeah.
So if he would hear me having a conversation, that's when he would get off his live and come in the room. And what would he want to do when he got in the room? His attention, for himself, right? To do his thing. And I'm on the phone with her, and I'm like, really? Now you want to come over here?
Right. You were just, like, doing your thing. Now you want to come and interrupt my thing because you hear me having conversations.
Mm-hmm.
What?
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Hatua.
Okay, baby, hold on. Here.
It's not a good thing. Luckily, I didn't know the motherfucker long enough for it to be like that. But still, and this is something you got to understand too, Free. If he coming at me and he's trying to speak to me, and the way that he's finding solace in us having a relationship as far as friendship is by him talking to me about him having a troubled life, then he wants to be perceived that way, right?
Did anybody else cry about Mike Tyson? No offense, sorry.
Yeah. But Free, if the only thing you keep priding yourself off is being a gangster and a jail nigga, I'm going to treat you like a gangster and a jail nigga. And when I was in prison, we searched people up, we looked them up, and then when they did weird stuff like that, we sodomized them or beat them.
Oh,
so because of that, this is why I tell people you don't know who you're talking to on the internet, because I wouldn't.
That's Jay Green, right?
So that's the only thing that's a little different. So when people act like that and they're beta males, or they're like fishing to be tougher so that people can look at them on the internet and think that they're somebody when they're actually not. Like how like for instance, I'm not gonna lie. Yo, bro, I didn't even know the motherfucker.
Yeah. Okay.
So long story short, that's a little clip, but that's not all the clips. Now I have asked Jay Green, because when he came up in my live, he had a lot to say. He said that Eli told him to Google him or search it, and then please, you just make your assumption, or you go off of it. So he said, I'm not going to do any of that. So then he went ahead and he actually paid for the discovery. Once he paid for the discovery, he literally comes to my live and he is like, up. He is pissed. He was on a red. Moving forward, he then says he thought things were going to be sweet, but then he also calls him at 3 a.m. Now, mind you, when I call him out for calling him at 3 a.m, I said, you just called Jay, you called him the other night at 3 a.m. to try to say nobody's letting you tell your side of the story. Jay was there when I asked you to tell your side of the story, and you told me that I was seeking validation.
And he told his side of the story on my interview. Why is he lying? He literally asked me to do an interview with him multiple times, and like inadvertently. And then finally I was like, we should do an interview so you can speak up for yourself. And he took it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So what is he talking about? He's never had a chance to do an interview.
As a matter of fact, last night on my live, he heard, everybody having a good time and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he watches from the outside. But I don't know if it maybe he gets frustrated or he makes his own conclusion about what's going on. But the minute he didn't like these two guys laughing about something that me and them were joking around in the back, behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
he popped in and he was typing. He's like, "Wait till you see our what did he say? Wait till you see our profile pics tomorrow." And I have the screenshot right here where he's literally telling me that. And then he calls me, and he calls me off of his number. I didn't even see that come through. But then he calls me off of another number and says, I thought it was the PA Police Department, so I answered it. Mm-hmm. And he tells me, he's like, are you sending my nudes out? And I'm like, why would I send your nudes out? He's like, because if you are, I have pictures of you too. And I said, okay. And then he says, you don't want me to show clips of us in the shower and this and that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, just wait and see what happens if you do that, if you post that. And he didn't say anything after that at that time, right? Oh, it's not going to show. I don't think it's going to show. It shows at the bottom of the screen. It's okay. And
wow.
Yeah, and so then when he's on the phone with me, I tell him, I said, you don't want to do that, but hey, if you do, just wait to see what happens to you, because I'm not going to sit there and be playing with you. And he hung up on me, right? And then as soon as he hung up on me, he starts sending pictures, which are the screenshots of the video that he basically has of us, and he tries to get like shots of where he's where I'm moving, basically, so I look kind of weird, and that's what he cropped and shit and sent it to me. And I just kept it there. I didn't respond or anything because I don't respond to any of his messages. He even messages me off of different accounts. He even had the indecency of messaging me, leave me alone off of Eli 6. I'm like, leave you alone. I'm not messing with you. I don't go into your lives. I don't go looking for you. I don't do anything. You know, and I have a whole bunch of screenshots of where he checks my stories. He checks, he goes and likes old comments of mine on his post, which I went and removed some of those comments off of his new account, just so that it'll pop up as a notification for me.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and so now I'm at the point where I heard he was on a live today, exposing all of our personal information. I'm about to file harassment charges because I'm not going to sit here and be playing with him on that.
He did the same thing to you, America, because last night he came in Woody's Live, him and Deb, they posted justice for Eli like 20 times. Mind you, it was like 4 people in the live. He then decided that he was going to message me again about this Chris situation and call me a hoe because he thinks that I'm sleeping with Chris off Eli, I think it's 8 or 6, one of them, and the Dubai one. Then he decides that not only is he going to do that, he sent me, yes, I am, remember? Then he sent me the picture of my cat again and was like, do you want it everywhere? You already sent it everywhere. You sent it to Facebook, my grandparents seen. Thank you so much. You sent it to Twitter. You sent it to Instagram. You showed it to TikTok. Where else are you going to show it?
Oh my God, bro.
Wow. Where else are you going to show it? You went through all of my followers on. Do you know how many followers I got on Instagram? He went through all of them to the point that he messaged my ex-girlfriend from like middle school, like we was like 8th grade. Followed her, liked all her pictures, asked her if she knew me, and she's like, yeah, that's my ex-girlfriend, like my first love. So then I messaged her, and I'm like, do you know him? She's like, he added me. I'm like, girl, he's crazy. She's like, oh, no, expose him because he's psycho. She's like, and I had to block him. I'm like, what the heck? He added Cyan, Debbie. That's how we got your phone number, because you texted Bunny justice for Eli like 40 times. I don't know how your old ass is even up all time of night, but you are weird. Y'all is crazy.
About how every single one of his supporters are women, and y'all are just okay with everything he does and says. What the fuck is going on?
That's how the Becca thing happened, Phoenix, because Debbie was so mad at me that she went and found, first they didn't do that. First they found that little girl, Nova. I don't know if y'all watch Soft Belly Underwhite, and he like talks about like victims like in California, like 304s and stuff. He had